learning languages faster than a baby. We as babies all have applied comprehensible input in our lives, but it actually took us more than 4 to 5 years to acquire our language. Well, you can do the same, but now you have all these features in the internet, more reasoning, and the experience of at least having learned one language at your favor. So I'm going to explain how to properly do this. I've been studying English for 3+ years, Japanese for 16 months, and as a collection athlete, I'll teach you to get discipline in the language acquisition process. Before telling you what you need to do, you need to comprehend that babies do not learn languages, they acquire languages. That's actually the primary misconception that people have. The difference between these two concepts is that when you learn something, you usually go through the first steps like lessons, maybe a tutorial, or drills, so you get to know the movement in an exercise. In languages, this will be through grammar lessons and learning vocabulary. Babies do not do this, they just acquire the language. That means they just get input from all of these sources like their parents, grandparents talking to them, etc. And at some point they just have the necessity of understanding, because if not, they will just not survive. For this same reason, they pay more attention to their surroundings when they have a bit more reasoning, and so it ends up becoming comprehensible input because of so much repetition. Step 1. Don't acquire, learn. You don't want to acquire first because you don't have any basis in the language to actually make the input comprehensible, and so it ends up being more efficient than the input from a baby, because babies don't have any comprehensible input at the start because they don't have any basis. You can actually go through a vocabulary list or a grammar guide and actually just study from that first for a month or 2 months, and when you study from that, you can actually get to now do input, and since you have a basis in the language now, it will actually be comprehensible input, and so that's the first advantage that you have with a baby. Step 2. Start acquiring but don't forget learning. So there's a lot of people here that forget their learning, and this is actually a very important thing because learning will make your acquiring of the language way more efficient. So don't forget studying some vocabulary or going through a grammar lessons if you actually need to, because you don't understand that grammar piece. What you will specifically do here is that you will create an account on the country that you're learning the language from. So if you're learning French, then France. If you're learning Japanese, then Japan. I think it's actually very straightforward. So it will be in one of these platforms, which could be YouTube, Netflix, X, whatever social media that you can think about and you actually enjoy. Then you will start watching content on these platforms. It could be from video games, it could be from cars, it could be from whatever thing that you can think about that you actually kind of enjoy. Then actually go and watch that. Now you actually want to watch something that you actually enjoy, because it will be kind of uncomfortable to start doing input in another language. This is one thing that people actually don't get, and it is that, yeah, it is actually uncomfortable to learn a language at the first stages, because I mean, it's actually something that you're not used to, right? You're not used to the feeling of not understanding things, so just get used first to that feeling. It doesn't matter if you have a 30 to 40% of comprehension, maybe you haven't go through all of the grammar lessons, but like, it doesn't matter. Just resist that feeling of getting out of the video and just fucking watch the video that you're trying to watch, and make it so that it is kind of enjoyable, so it is from a topic that you actually do like. Maybe video games, maybe anime, whatever thing. Make learning part of the acquisition process. This is one of the things that got me to actually have very good results when it comes to Japanese, and it is that you need to see anki or studying vocabulary or studying grammar something that you actually should do. Maybe not studying grammar, but studying vocabulary, yes, it is something that you should actually be doing on a daily basis. Now, something that I don't see people doing is that, for example, if they're reading for 2 hours, they get vocabulary from maybe 30 minutes of those 2 hours, and then that's it. When I'm reading, I actually read for 2 hours and 30 minutes, and I get vocabulary from all of the things that I didn't understand on those 2 hours and 30 minutes, and the next day I'm going to study all of those vocabularies. So when I get to read another time, it actually will be easier because I just reviewed the things that I learned yesterday. So that's something that you want to do to make learning part of the acquisition process. Always remember that learning is for making your acquisition of the language way easier. Go to the first link in the description, in which I have free courses and my free community, and you can actually give me some feedback on the courses too, so it's a win-win for both of us, because you get courses for free and I get feedback. So that's it for the video. Be sure to give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you want more people to know about this. Thank you.